Get this video to 5,000 likes. 1,000 people comment and tell me who is the better leader, Andrew Holness or Mark Golding. Now, so said, so done, my people. Alright, we have news for you. The response from Mark Golding and, of course, to the Prime Minister for the reform conversation initiative. You understand me? Okay? Now, I consider it an insult that togetherness is the topic. You understand me? And that Mark Golding reached out to the Prime Minister to have a conversation about the constitutional reform, and he received the response from the Prime Minister saying that he would send a representative. You understand me? Mark Golding declined to speak to the Prime Minister's representative and says that he should have a conversation leader to leader of their respective parties. Well, I will give you the response coming up, my people. Welcome to Virtual TV Vlogs. Alright? Yes. As I said before, I will be trying to post as much on this channel as possible. You understand what I say? Today's Manifest Mondays, my people. And whatever your dreams, goals, and aspirations are for today, Virtual TV hopes that it bears fruit. You understand what I say? Leave a like on the video, share the video, my people, and of course, subscribe to the channel. You understand me? Alright? Now, the other day I gave you a video about the Prime Minister writing to Mark Golding, talking about the reform initiative, the constitutional reform, because for the longest times there has been the back and forth going on between Andrew Holness and Mark Golding pertaining to cutting ties with the UK, the king, so to speak, but they haven't managed to find common ground. You understand? Fast forward to now, everyone. The Prime Minister made it clear about unity and getting together with the opposition leader, only to be rejected completely by Mark Golding, saying that he will not respectively meet with Delroy Chuck. You understand? A representative rather than the leader himself. Now the headline is "Ease Up on the Arrogance, Dr. Holness." No. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been deemed arrogant. How can the leader of the opposition wants to hold a conversation about the country moving forward as an independent republic and you send a representative? It seems now that this has been perceived as the Prime Minister being cocky and arrogant and considers Mark Golding not an equal, but send a representative to hold such an important talks about it. Well, people, we have the response. You understand? Mark Golding rejected the Prime Minister and says that he will not talk to him as a representative. You understand? He will not speak to a representative if the conversation is not being held directly, leader to leader, JLP leader to PNP leader. Then it will be another failed attempt again, this time around, for them to finally complete the task of Jamaica becoming a republic. You understand me? Remember the last time it was the fact that Mark Golding said that he wanted to move forward as a republic, but it is a case that where if we want to cut ties with the British, we have to do away with their courts as well, meaning the Privy Council. Now, the Prime Minister had said at that time that, of course, it was a step-by-step phase situation where it would be the fact that we do away with the British but still use their court. Mark Golding said as long as we're going to do this, if we now use the CCJ, well then we can't do it, and there has been a stalemate because this reform process cannot go through without the opposition's cooperation. Okay? Now, at his recent swearing-in, Prime Minister Andrew Holness stated to opposition leader Mark Golding, "Let's partner together to complete the work we started in making Jamaica a republic." Okay? Now, good. A reasonable person would conclude PM Holness means PM Holness in person as Prime Minister and Mark Golding as the leader of the opposition should meet, both powerful men in the same room with their respective teams talking with each other. At the same time, let us assume that the constitutional reform is very important to Jamaica and Jamaicans. So that is what the dynamic should have been. Leader to leader, their teams behind them respectively. Mark Golding as the leader for the PNP, his team behind him. Andrew Holness as his leader, as the leader of the JLP, his team behind him, and they hold a discussion man to man. That would what many persons would have thought. But oh no, that's not the case at all. No, sir. See, the Prime Minister said that it was going to be a conversation, but what he did not say, it was going to be him and him. No, let us continue. At the first meeting, it would not matter if little of the overall objective of reform was achieved. What would be important is both leaders signaling where the country was heading in the new chapter. Meeting of the sub-teams like minister to opposition representative, technocrat experts, etc. would operate behind the scene, dealing with the heavy lifting and codifying the new reform, the amendments, and understanding how to fit the raw politics into skilled delivery of constitutional reform to a people better at cussing than debate. A serious person, in my view, would have requested a meeting with Mr. Golding, and at the meeting, have Mr. Chuck present at the meeting to advise Mr. Golding, and Mr. Chuck, with his law degree and legal experience, will be an important part of the government teamwork on the constitutional reform, and of course the PM would be present. Okay, a reasonable person would have concluded that the PM made a mess of the constitutional reform in his last term in office. The designated point person, Mrs. Malahoo Fort, was a resounding failure. Nothing was achieved. She came across as stubborn, inflexible, pedantic, and bordering on inept. A word I feel uncomfortable in using against the counselor, the judge, the minister, a person who ought to merit accolades instead of harsh criticisms. Malahoo Fort. But don't worry, I know you alone feel so, because she's no longer the minister in that department. Trust me. Anyway, then last week the PM announced he wants Golding to meet with Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice and now Constitutional Reform Affairs. That is really odd. Why make a point to tell the leader of the opposition that the two of you should work together, and your first move is to tell the leader of the opposition to meet with Chuck? Why? I don't blame Mark Golding for rejecting that. You are not beneath Mark Golding, and I'm saying you are not beneath the Prime Minister, because you are equally important and a partner for this move to happen, because it can't do without Mark Golding and the opposition. Because if the Prime Minister could have do it already, he would have do it again. What the article is suggesting, that the Prime Minister is deceiving, because you tell the man, say, yo, let us meet and work together and let us do this and whole talks, but then now you send a representative to meet with Mark Golding. That is signaling that you consider Mark Golding beneath you and not an equal partner or equal footing to have an important conversation like this. Let us continue. Now, constitutional reform is a high priority. Why delegate it immediately? Could it be that you have had internal polls conducted and they have indicated that the general public is not even half interested in constitutional reform? Are you, PM, not interested because you are driven by those polls? Do you not want to meet with Mr. Golding? Okay? Do you harbor ill will towards Mr. Golding because he pointed out your personal financial affairs and your failure to comply with the constitutional duty to file the Integrity Commission report? Is that it, Mr. PM? Now, a Jamaican reader who resides in Florida, he increasingly calls upside down America, emailed me. If we could feel pain and sadness because we are human, we would be overcome by emotions. And another mass shooting with multiple situations of dropping occurred past Sunday in St. Catherine. It was obvious that the significant planning was behind the attack. Early reports indicated that the attackers dressed in police outfits and had high-powered weapons like the police. They even announced themselves as the police before starting to shoot. Horrible and tragic, but marked with all the police operations in the last year that resulted in the police dropping like many people. What if the perpetrators were policemen moonlighting? Leave a like on the video, share the video. We have more to come down. Gonna wait. So forward.